Hello everyone. Once we were driving through one of the less prosperous districts of the city and became witnesses, even participants in the following situation.
Да, да.
Слышь, мужики, что вы делаете?
Работа! Что это? Ты сейчас
Пусти собаку, моя собака.
Убери камеру. Эту камеру! Аран, что ты делаешь?
Пусти собаку.
Нахер вы это делаете? Кому
Ты
мешаете?
мешай, мужики, что вы делаете?
Нахер вы собаку?
У вас еще собаки есть, слышите там?
Себе в машину посвети.
Давай, открывай
Себе в
дверь.
машину посвети.
Что ты меня толкаешь?
Себе посвети машину, это частная машина.
Отойди.
Что вы собак обижаете? Пацаны, это моя собака.
Мы их отлавливаем и стерилизуем.
Да, и что вы с ними будете делать, отлавливать?
Стерилизуем.
Стерилизуем. Сейчас я вас буду стерилизовать. А вы собаку, маленький щенок, вы его, на цепь, я не знаю, на какую-то петлю посадили.
I began to take the puppy in my arms, and it bit me. It used its fangs in self-defense. I just stood up for it and it bit my hand. We had to take the dog to our car to prevent it from getting to the dog catchers. Surprisingly, it behaved calmly, as if it was on an excursion looking what was happening outside the window. It was a pity to throw the puppy somewhere on the street, so we brought it to the hangar. And there's nothing to offer to eat, except the donuts that we had left over from the previous video. The dog is eating, and it's trembling of fear. The feeling of hunger is stronger than the fear, and the first donut is already eaten. Having experienced such stress, it's trembling and cannot calm down in any way. To be honest, we behaved emotionally while arguing with the catchers. We could not calmly watch how a noose was thrown at a small puppy. Now there are some doubts whether we have done the right thing? Maybe it would be better for the dog to be in that shelter, or where they are taken after having been caught. It's too late to think about it. We will try to provide its life with necessary things, but not only on the street. The first check has shown that the dog has no fleas at all. None. Neither on the withers, nor on the body and on the stomach. There is only one wound on the abdomen and that's it. By the way, it's a girl. Maybe it's a pet dog but without a collar, or it has just run away from someone's house. This is quite small dog judging by its size and the fangs. Of course, we are not dog handlers, but we suppose its age is about 2 to 4 months. When we let the dog run around the hangar, it hides behind the background and is afraid to come out of there. This is either a reaction to an unknown place or a fear after the experience it's had. Anyway, the noose around the neck leaves a mark in the sole. After a while it comes out to hide in another place. We've decided to introduce it to a dog that we rescued a year ago and who lives with us. Of course, we are surprised, but the puppy begins to growl at Jessie. It hasn't perceived us so hostilely before. It is afraid not only of people, but also of other animals. At the same time, Jessie does not notice any threat at all. Well, okay, let's leave the little dog alone for one day and let its emotions die down. Meanwhile, the thought that the dog can be domestic do not leave us. We've printed some missing dog notices and go to place them in the area where the whole situation happened the day before. It doesn't matter if this dog is domestic or not, it smells bad, as if it spent the last night in a garbage dump instead of the hangar. As long as it's living with us, the dog should be clean. The dog becomes even more beautiful after bathing and wiping. We also see how skinny it is. There is only skin and bone. By the way, the puppy turns out to be so stern that it growls not only at Jessie, but also at its reflection in the mirror. It will become a good guard. The time is passing and the dog is getting used to everything. It stops being afraid of all and can just lie down on the sofa and sleep peacefully. But most of all, it's got used to Jessie and begun to treat her as its friend. It sniffs and even licks its older friend. Jessie also isn't indifferent. The time is passing but nobody has answered the ad. A week has passed and we've decided to place an ad on the internet that the puppy needs a home. We will give it for free to somebody kind. Perhaps we'll manage to find its new owners even through the internet. The dog eats well, but still does not gain any weight. So, we decide to give it a deworming pill. But it's spitting up the pill and doesn't want to eat it. It keeps going for several times until we manage to shove the medicine into the very throat. Drink at least some water. By the way, the puppy's appetite is very good despite its size. It eats a whole bowl of porridge at a time. There is some porridge with minced meat of course, but anyway it's a full bowl. It's much more than Jessie eats. And the sizes of dogs are simply not commensurable. It's eaten well and begun to lick its older friend. But the most important thing is that this story has a happy end. We have managed to find a new family for a small dog. There are people who have taken the main character of this video. That's all for now. Bye bye.